Welcome. Welcome everyone to Abundance Through the Body Guided Experience. We are going to start flowing and experiencing so much in the next few hours that I can't wait to dive in. So, as people are joining us, I'll just let everybody settle in. Make sure you have some water. If you want tea, anything non caffeinated is wonderful. Have a notebook with your favorite pen. You may take your shoes off, get comfortable, and just get ready. So, as we begin today, as I mentioned, make sure you have a notebook if you want to take notes, have your favorite pen. You can take your shoes off if it's more comfortable, and you can be in your chair, whatever's comfortable, sitting on your sofa. Just make it your experience today. Make it about you. And as we start entering this space, this room today, I would like to say welcome. And my name is Wendy Bjork, and I empower women that are dealing with chronic conditions like MS or other autoimmune conditions to take charge of their health and take charge of their healing, to stand up for themselves. Because for so long, we've been told different things. We've been made to believe different things, even about ourselves. And the time is now to maybe try something different, do something different, make small changes in your life, and then you can view how those stack up to feel like a transformation. And it just starts with one decision, one step at a time. And you being here is a great first step and a great first decision. So, welcome, welcome, welcome. And it is my dream to keep building a world where women feel seen and heard and understood. And that's always the theme of my groups, of my courses, of my mentorships, because it's time. We are here for a special time, and it's to be heard and seen and understood. The times are long gone from our grandmother's days where our voices weren't heard, we didn't matter, and people ignored us. So the time has to come, I think, full circle where women are important. Nobody would be here without women. So let's just settle in and kind of clear our thoughts, clear our head, set your to-do list aside, and just have a feeling of peacefulness and calmness. And that's what we're going to do as we enter this space. And I know everybody, every woman has a dream. They have a plan for their life. And sometimes our plans are interrupted by a condition, by a chronic illness, by symptoms, by feelings in our body that don't ever go away. And I think having a space like this is very important to allow yourself to not only acknowledge those feelings, but the ones that aren't serving us any longer, we can let those go. If they're not serving us, it's time to remove it from our sphere, remove it from our aura. Our dreams matter, and what we're doing in this world and our lives matters. So, in today's Abundance Through the Body guided experience, we're going to go through several sections of the pillars of luminous living. We're going to do some different guided meditations that will show you how easy it is to just take a step back and ground yourself and just feel like you're resetting your nervous system quickly. And I'd like to say this clearly because myself included, we need to be reminded of our desires, our dreams, our desire for freedom, of impact, of wealth. And the bigger dreams is not wrong, it's not selfish, and it's also not unrealistic. But it can be a signal, it can be an alert to our system, to our body, that we are here because something deep inside, something inside us senses that there is another way to live with our body. And it's a way that does not require us to fight any longer. The fight is over. The fixing is over. The forcing into compliance is over. It's time to, I think, stop being warriors, because when we are a warrior, we're always in fight or flight mode. I was a warrior. I was an MS warrior, and I was proud of it until I realized I was making my symptoms worse because I was always in fight or flight and bracing. But we'll get into that. We are here because we are tired of only living in survival mode. And if you're starting to wonder if thriving is something even possible for someone like you, someone that's dealing with a condition, an illness, or symptoms, or autoimmune symptoms. And let me tell you, it's possible. It's possible for you. It's possible for me. And I know because I've been living this life. I've been living with MS for over 35 years. And MS has been my teacher, even though a lot of times I get frustrated, I get mad at it. I wish it didn't affect me. I wish it would go away. And I learned that abundance and health and healing isn't something that we chase. All these things are something that our body needs to feel safe. Abundance is something that our body needs to feel safe enough to receive it. So creating the safety is one of our first steps. And that's one of our core truths for today. Our body cannot receive abundance when we live in survival mode. So if we're living in survival mode, it's very hard for our body to receive clues and cues, abundance, signals, signs, messages. And when our nervous system is bracing and expecting the next bad thing to happen, when our brain is scanning for threats, none of it's scanning for opportunities. It's not scanning for solutions, and it's not scanning for creativity. In survival mode, it becomes harder to sleep well, harder for what we eat to digest well. It's harder to heal efficiently. It's harder to think clearly. It's harder to receive support. It's harder to feel joy. It's like the fun crusher if we let it. But when we take consistent steps and then calmly approach these ideas, calmly hold wealth, stay present in our relationships, that's what it can feel like to be in receivership mode instead of survival mode. The word is to allow. So type a yes in the chat if you've ever felt like your nervous system can create blocks in your life, or your nervous system creates more chaos in your life, or blocks you from moving forward with your dreams. And is it really our nervous system doing that? Or is it our ego? Is it our mind thinking that we can't do something new or that we shouldn't try something different? So there's always a step deeper, it seems, when we do have a thought or we do have an idea. Like there's always something like the next level down. And I understand it. I see you. I get it. I've tried so many different things or so many different thought processes, so many different classes, and had so many mentors and just built this like from the ground up. I feel like I had to rebuild who I am, all the different aspects of me to keep growing. And we're never done. That's the thing. We are always shifting, we're always changing and always growing. And one of my mentors said a long, long time ago that if you're green, you're growing. And if you're not growing, what are you doing? So when you think of plants, trees, when they're green, they're growing. When they're brown, they're dying. So I think always having a way to keep yourself growing, keeping a momentum of what you're seeking, what your dreams are, keeping the possibilities on your heart, not letting those dreams die. They might be on the back burner, but at some point you have to bring them up and bring them up forward, bring them out so that they can be realized, so that you can take the steps to receive what you're meant to receive. It's all about possibilities. And sometimes we have a view that maybe our body is broken. It's not functioning like everyone else. So there's something wrong. We have a condition, a chronic illness, an autoimmune condition. But instead of viewing your body as broken, what if you view it as your body's been trying to protect you all this while? And then that's what the result is coming out through these symptoms. Our body tries to protect us because safety is most important for us. Today is about building safety so that your body remembers how to be open. When the body opens, that's when our life opens. And that's when we can take the steps, the action steps towards our desires, towards our dreams, towards what we want to build in this lifetime. Because in the big picture, our time here is short and it's time to take action. Stop waiting and stop listening to maybe the lies people are telling us that we can't do something because of our illness or we shouldn't do something. A lot of times we have nothing to lose. That's how I view it. I have nothing to lose by trying this thing or stopping this thing. Sometimes it's more about what we stop more than what we are adding on and just being open to that. So today I'm also going to introduce my 4 roots of luminous living. It's my 4 pillars that I based my reset on, I call it, my lifestyle reset, the things I did that changed my life. And if we think of these roots like a tree or roots of a tree, when their roots are nourished, the tree doesn't force growth, it just grows. It receives water, it receives nutrients, it's connected to other trees, so they're sharing things. And that's what I love about it. This analogy is so beautiful because when a tree, think about a tree in spring, it's blossoming, it's flowering. They're all joining in to help each other. They all share resources, they're sharing the water, they're sharing the nutrients, and they're helping each other grow. And that's what a community is all about, sharing and growing. And not that we're forcing growth, it's just being allowed. It just happens. A tree doesn't get up in the morning and say, today I need water. Who's giving me water? Or I need this nutrient. Where am I getting this from? It just happens. So remember that. We need to be more like trees, just receiving. Stay in receiver mode and see what happens. So the 4 roots of luminous living are, the first one is clarity. And not just thinking clearly is what our automatic thought is. It's how our thoughts interpret our experience. We are very judgmental, I think, as a society, and we judge ourselves way too much. We compare ourselves. We look at each other and we say, well, she has a better life because she has this, or this person gets around better. But you have no idea what happens when they go home. And that's the hard part about having invisible illness, which I'll talk about in a bit. It's not just about how we look, it's about how we view ourselves. That's what's most important. And then the second root is vibrancy. It's about our body. What are we putting in our body? What are we eating and drinking? What are we putting on our body? Down to our personal care products. And then how we regulate our nervous system. And how some of these things that we use every day are interrupting our nervous system without us even realizing it. The third root is our environment, or the root of harmony. It's the space we live in. It's what signals our nervous system receives. It's everything about everything around us, because we are multifaceted and everything affects us. Everything we breathe is into our system within seconds. And not just good things and bad things separated, but you have to focus on keeping your indoor air cleaner. And the fourth root is relationship. How do we connect with ourselves and others? So we're going to touch on each root today, just enough for you to feel a shift and to experience what's possible, to have a taste. So for our first root of mindset, our thoughts are not just mental, they're physiological, because every thought sends signals into our body and then throughout our body. When we have an inner voice that's negative and it's telling us, this will never get better, or I'm behind, or I can't do this anymore, or my body always ruins everything. Your body hears a threat with all of those statements. And guess what? It starts bracing. Your cortisol starts increasing. Your fight or flight mode kicks in, and it's ready. It's ready for the next bad thing that's going to happen. But when your inner voice says instead, I'm learning to support myself, my body is communicating. I can take one step today, whether that's metaphorical or physical or both. I am safe enough to begin. When your thoughts, even if you say it out loud, because your body hears everything, your body hears permission, and that's how you keep moving forward. There's a lot of mindset traps that I see women falling into. And here's the ones that I hear most often. The first trap is the I'm broken story. My body doesn't work like it used to, so I can't do anything about it. And I can't do the things that I used to love to do. I get that. I used to run. I used to bike. I used to hike. And then all of a sudden, it's hot out and your system doesn't work like it used to. Now what? Now you have to make sure you stay cool, or you have a way to get cool if you are doing those things. Because if your legs fail you when it's too hot out, then you have to figure out a new way. You have to keep maybe ice packs on you, keep a cooling scarf around your neck. Just think of different ways that you can still do things that you like to do with adaptation. Because not every adaptation holds you back. It's meant to keep moving you forward. So if we release the I'm broken story, that's the first one that we're going to release. That first trap of when something doesn't go our way because our body might be hindering us, we need to release the I'm broken story. It's not helping us, it's keeping us stuck. So the second trap is I will do this when. I will live my life when. I'll take the trip when. And that's not fair to ourselves to hold ourselves back. People with challenges People with conditions can still travel. I travel a lot by myself. I'm usually meeting friends, going to a conference. I always have a destination, but because I live in Wisconsin, I'm usually the furthest away and I get to fly by myself. And it's okay because there's always someone to help everywhere around me, every time I go somewhere. I've even had concierge ask me why I'm traveling by myself. They might see it as dangerous, but I think if you have the idea that you want to do something and you follow through with it, it'll be fine. Everywhere you go, people in the airport help you. All you do is ask for help. Even on the shuttle buses, ask them to load your suitcase. I don't need to load my 50-pound suitcase. I have nothing to prove. But even in restaurants, everybody's willing to help. So we need to remove the I'll do this when. We're taking that out of our conversation and we're letting our dreams happen. The third trap that we're releasing is the I have to do it myself or I have to do it by myself. I have to do it alone. Maybe because somebody doesn't do it as well as we do. Maybe it's cooking. Maybe it's doing laundry. Whatever thing it is, you have to allow it to be okay. One of my friends is 90 years old, and her famous phrase is, it's good enough. Whether it's your house or your kids' room or whatever you're doing, it can be good enough because we can spend all day thinking about what things should look like. And then we're back to judgment again, judging ourselves, comparing ourselves. Nobody's house really looks like the pictures you see on Facebook or Instagram. They cleaned everything out of that one corner and took a picture. And they probably have a disaster behind that picture. So let yourself be held in grace and know that you can have help and it can be good enough. And if you can relate to these three traps or disbeliefs, know that you aren't failing, that they've been just survival strategies to get you through the day. And it's now safe for us to shift. The luminous mindset has three anchors to replace the three traps. The first anchor is my body is my ally, not my enemy. And if you're taking notes, I can repeat it for you. My body is my ally, not my enemy. Anchor number two, I am worthy of support and joy right now. I am worthy of support and joy right now. The third anchor is healing happens in community, not isolation. Healing happens in community, not isolation. So I'd like to do a mini practice. And I also wanted to mention that since we are in for a little while, if you need a break, you need to go fill your water or your tea up, need a bathroom break, just go ahead and take that break because I will be sending out the replay to everybody who is here today. And you can catch that in there. So we have a mini practice. We're going to rewrite one sentence that we're letting ruminate, letting go through our mind, letting go through our thoughts. We're going to rewrite that sentence into something good. So think of one harsh thing that you've said to yourself recently. You don't have to write it down, just think about it. What's a criticism? What's a judgment? What's something that you have said to yourself, and then just hold that thought. Now I want you to imagine that one of your best friends is struggling with that exact same thing or in the exact same way. What would you say to her? Would you have said the thing you said to yourself? I'm guessing you wouldn't because you're too nice. You would never talk to your friend like that. You would never say those harsh, judgmental words to somebody else. But for some reason, you say it to yourself. And that's not really fair. That's not fair to your body. That's not fair to how you're trying to navigate life. And it actually holds you back a lot. So now I would like you to grab your pen, grab your notebook, and you're going to write down to yourself your compassionate replacement sentence. Instead of what you told yourself the first time, you're going to flip that around and you're going to write a nice sentence back to yourself. And I'll give you a few minutes to do that because this is important. So, how does that feel? How does your new sentence feel compared to what those first thoughts were? Those first thoughts of criticism or of blame or judgment. It's so important to have thoughts of kindness, of generosity, of grace for ourselves. When we don't, it's holding us back, it's setting us back. So when you read it to yourself silently, how does it make you feel? Elevated, excited, empowered? And you can go ahead and write that as well. How does this sentence make you feel? Does it make you feel like you can do anything? That you're here for it? This is how we begin training our brain. Not with pressure, not with yelling at ourselves or criticizing ourselves, but with repetition, kindness, being as lovely to ourselves as we are to our friends. And I want to say this because a lot of us need to hear it. You're not behind, you're not broken, you're not too late. You're learning a new way to live in your body. So, next, we're going to talk about the vibrancy component or our body, our regulation, inflammation, receiving wealth, the heartbeat of our body and of today. Our body is not separate from abundance, it's the gateway. How many of us think of abundance, like abundance of health, abundance of wealth, abundance of friends, abundance being external? It doesn't always have to be external. Because here's the truth. When our nervous system is dysregulated, it actually blocks receiving. It's holding it all back. It can block our health improvements. It can block consistent action. It can block relationship stability, creative flow, new opportunities, wealth expansion, clear decision making, visibility. Sometimes dysregulation looks loud. Anxiety, overwhelm, thoughts that race through our head. Or sometimes it can look quiet. If we shut down, we feel the numbness. We feel brain fog, procrastination. So let's name some patterns, and you can see if you recognize yourself, but letting go of shame. If our nervous system is in chaos, we might overthink everything, second guess every decision, feel stuck even when we have good ideas, avoid money conversations, avoid letting our true selves be seen, overgive or overshop, and then crash, saying yes and feeling resentment, undercharging or playing small, starting and stopping repeatedly. So if you're thinking, I heard myself in one of these, then I want you to hear this too. These are not character flaws. This is a nervous system pattern, and patterns can be retrained. So here's a few body truths that matter. The first truth is that inflammation often feels symptoms like fatigue, pain, brain fog, mood shifts. The second truth is what you put on your body matters too. Your skin absorbs everything. Truth number 3, your gut and your brain are very deeply connected. Even though they're quite a ways apart, it's still connected. We are not doing perfection today or ever. We're doing awareness in one step. Just one step. That's all it takes. Your first step. So next we can practice a nervous system regulation tool that also supports wealth and wellness. So we're going to place one hand on our heart, one hand on our belly. Put your feet on the floor. And I need to add, if you are driving, if you're holding a small child, please come back on the replay and do this later. But if it's safe, press your feet into the floor for 5 seconds. Just push on the floor, one hand on your heart, one hand on your belly, 5 seconds. Press and release. And do it again. Keeping your hand on your heart and on your belly, another one on your belly, and press your feet into the floor, counting to 5. Now inhale gently through your nose and exhale slowly through your mouth, longer than your inhale. So inhale slowly through your nose and exhale slowly through your mouth, longer than you inhaled. And one more time. Inhale gently in through your nose. Now exhale slowly through your mouth. Now quietly ask your body, what would help me feel 5% safer today? And pause for 10 seconds. Is the question healing? Is the question wealth? Is the question leadership? Or even self-leadership, self-advocacy? Because when you build safety, you're building capacity. And when you build capacity, you can hold more. One of the biggest shifts in my life happened when I realized people don't need emergency energy from me. They need steady leadership. They need self advocacy. They need tools. They need a plan. They need consistency. When I started teaching nervous system regulation as a foundation, everything expanded. Even my clarity expanded. My time expanded. My peace, my ability to serve expanded. It wasn't always chasing the clock. This is why abundance through the body works. Instead of viewing abundance of anything as external, think of it as internal. What is inside us? How are we storing it? Are we taking care of it? Are we caring for it? Or are we just ignoring it? And now, if you could just type one word in the chat that describes how your body feels right now. After that, reset. After that mini breath work. I'm seeing calm. I'm seeing refresh. Yeah, love it. Feeling great. It's always so beautiful to hear the experiences after something so simple. Just putting our feet on the floor. And if you're outside, you can do this outside in your socks or your bare feet is the best. Pressing our feet into the ground is what we're missing. Other cultures do it all the time, but we wear shoes with rubber soles. And that's great, but we need to take time for ourselves and find that time to reset. And I know if there's snow on the ground, that's kind of hard. But when it's nice out, make sure you do it. So if anybody would like a break, yeah, anybody would like a break right now, we're going to take a 5-minute break. Everybody go grab your water, grab, if you need a snack, take a restroom run. So we'll be back in 5 minutes. See you then. All right, everybody get a refreshed beverage and ready to go. I hope everybody's still feeling the calm that that mini reset did, that 5 seconds with your feet on the floor, and how that can change your whole day. And just think of different ways you can use that. If you're at work and you're stressed and people are not happy, if you're dealing with customers that are not happy, just think about that. Just putting your feet on the floor and receiving the energy of the earth. There's so much beneath us that no one's explored or not explored to the depths of what's really there. So just keep that in your toolbox, make a note of that to come back to when you're feeling stressed out, when you're feeling stuck. I don't like using that word, but when you feel like you have limited options, or when you feel like you're not sure of your next direction to take, you're at a fork in the road, you don't know which direction to go, just come back to this. And by planting your feet on the ground or on the floor, just allowing the answer to come back through you, it can be life changing. So, our next mini part of this is we're going to do some EFT tapping. And I discovered EFT tapping probably 10 years ago. And it's so helpful for getting rid of the disbeliefs that we bring onto ourselves. We bring into our body through our thoughts or through our words that we talk to ourselves. So our tapping for today is clearing doubt and reclaiming capacity. So EFT stands for Emotional Freedom Technique. And it's combining acupressure with focused language to calm our amygdala, which is the threat center of our brain. So we tap lightly with 2 fingers on specific points while we speak these truths out loud. You can't mess it up. If I look opposite of you, it's okay because your body's still receiving what it's meant to. So our tapping points are the karate chop is on the side of our hand, 2 fingers, side of our hand. Our eyebrow, side of the eye, under the eye, under our nose. And if you have long nails, you can just curl your fingers and go like that under your nose. Your chin, collarbone, under your arm, like where your bra strap comes around you, and then the top of your head. So we're going to start at the karate chop point. So we're tapping on the outer edge of our hand, like the side if we did a karate chop. Just think of it that way. And then you can use 3 fingers from your opposite hand, and then tap gently but firmly. So now take your opposite hand and begin the karate chop first. And then we're going to repeat a phrase 3 times. You can say it out loud. You can say silently in your mind. There's no wrong way to do this. And then you're just going to tap continually until we go on to the next part. So our first round is we're acknowledging doubt. So we start with the side of our hand, and we're going to say, even though part of me doubts this can really work for me, get back to my notes, I deeply and completely honor how hard this has been. So even though part of me doubts this can really work for me, I deeply and completely honor how hard this has been. And the third time, even though part of me doubts this can really work for me, I deeply and completely honor how hard this has been. Next, we're going to move to our eyebrow. This doubt inside of our eye, I've tried before. Now go under your eye. I get hopeful and then discouraged. And under our nose, I'm tired of being disappointed. Our chin, I don't want to seem naive. And to our collarbone, my body feels unpredictable. Under our arm, sometimes I feel behind. Now top ahead, and that scares me. We pause, take a breath. Next round, we are opening possibility. So with our karate chop, even though I've been protecting myself with doubt, I'm open to feeling just a little safer. Even though I've been protecting myself with doubt, I'm ready to feel a little safer. And the third time, even though I've been protecting myself with doubt, I'm ready to feel a little safer. Next to our eyebrow, what if my body isn't broken? What if it's been protecting me? Under eye, what if I can retrain it? Under nose. What if safety increases capacity? Chin. What if I don't have to do this alone? Collarbone. I'm open to possibility. Underarm. I'm open to steadiness. Top of head. I'm open to expansion at a pace I can hold. Now pause, take a deep breath in, and let it all out. And you can come back to this for your replay. You'll get the replay. But these are really important things and simple things to do to reset your nervous system. So, what I'd like you to do is think about your doubts about yourself, about your body from before we did the tapping on a scale of 0 to 10. And then what is it now? Like, what was it before from 0 to 10? And what is it now? So, your doubt, your highest doubt would be 10. So, if you're very, very, very doubtful, it'd be a 10. And then now, after, if you have no doubt, it'd be a 0. So, if you'd like to share, you don't have to. You could share your doubt before, which is the high number, and then hopefully after, it's a lower number. So, if you want to just type those in, and then I can see those in the comments. Oh, yeah. Yep. A 10 before. Yep. 10 before. 1 after. 8 before. 2 after. 9 before. 4 after. Good. You're still shifting. It doesn't matter how much you shifted. As long as you shift, as long as you're clearing out thoughts that don't serve you and just allowing yourself to let go of those thoughts because they're not serving you. They're not helping you. It's not helping you heal. So EFT tapping is one tool that we use inside the immersion. And I really like it because it's quick and it's something that we can do for ourselves. It's something that we can do every day if we want, or multiple times a day. It just takes a few seconds. And if you're working and you don't want to do it in front of your coworkers, just sneak off to the bathroom. So our third root is our environment, or the root of harmony. It's a pretty big root because there's a lot happening in our space. And it's not just inside, it's outside as well. It can be our house, it can be our office, it can be our garage. And the space is either restoring you or helping you heal, or it's depleting you. There's no in between. It's either helping you or it's not. So the root of harmony includes air quality. And I read indoor pollution in our modern day homes in the US is most often worse than the outdoor pollution because our houses are sealed tighter. Nobody opens windows. Either the heat's on or the AC is on. So no fresh air is moving through. And then we're adding in the toxic products or the chemicals. And it's everyday stuff they sell at the store at Target. And we think because it's sold there that it must be fine, right? Yeah, they're not telling us the whole truth. So our environment includes our air quality. It includes our cleaning products. It includes our fragrance exposure. It includes noise and sensory stimulation. It can include clutter and visual chaos. How many times do you, if you work at a desk, how many times do you sit down and there's just so much stuff there you can't even figure out where you're supposed to be or figure out which stack has what you're supposed to work on next. So thinking of the energy of your space, always approach it as how can I make this better? How can I shift to clear this space so that it feels good to me? And then think of our lighting. We are in artificial lighting. How many hours a day? the entire time we're awake, usually. So inside the root of harmony, we go really deep into ways all of these things in our life affect us and easy ways to let it go, replace it, swap it, even down to what we watch and what we listen to, recognizing how that affects us, keeping our energy clean, our space clean, and not just physically clean, our thoughts matter too. Because if your environment is constantly signaling stress, your body keeps bracing. And when our body keeps bracing, it's hard to receive. The receiving doesn't happen like it should. So I'm going to share 3 small upgrades that can make a real difference. Upgrade 1, which I've kind of already mentioned, it's air, fresh air. Open a window for 5 minutes a day if you can, even in winter. And if you can open 2 windows that are opposite in your house, you can get like a cross ventilation going. And it should smell fresher. It should smell whatever your season is right now. And it should give your body a mini reset for that too. Next is removing synthetic air fresheners and heavy fragrances when possible. The majority of synthetic air fresheners aren't really freshening the air. They're numbing our sense of smell because whatever we breathe gets into our bloodstream in a matter of seconds. I don't know if it's, can't remember if it's 30 or 40 seconds, but it's in our bloodstream. So make sure what we're breathing in is safe, is healthy, is not harmful. And heavy fragrance, candles, plugins, perfume, avoiding those because it overpowers our nervous system. And then our next upgrade, or upgrade number 2, is non-toxic cleaning. So we swap out one swap at a time, run one room at a time, and making sure what we're using in our home isn't harmful to us or our pets, our kids. Because if we're using harsh cleaners, our kids are crawling around on the floor. Our pets are walking around on the floor, their little paws that's absorbing all these after effects of our cleaners. It's not helping their health. Our kids' organs are not developed. Their systems are so much more sensitive than ours because they're still underdeveloped. So using products in your home that aren't harsh, that don't overburden any of our systems, don't give us a toxic overload. Reading your labels. Sometimes we can get a recipe with things like baking soda, Castile soap, vinegar, healthy essential oils, things without synthetic ingredients. Our third upgrade is having a space for ourselves, a sanctuary, whether that's on a table that's out of the way, or if you have a cupboard, a hutch, a bookshelf, a small space that can become your nervous system reset corner. Something without your computer next to it. Maybe you have a chair that's next to a small table that you have a plant or a blanket. Something meaningful that brings you joy. Maybe somewhere that you can sit and read and then have your objects there. Choose things that make you feel calm, that make you feel that you know you matter because you do. So we'd like to do it's called an environmental audit. So look around the space that you're in right now and then ask yourself, what inside this space helps my body exhale? Again, it's what inside this space helps my body exhale. Do you have a window that you can look out? Do you have a favorite trinket? Maybe it's a trinket from somebody that's not here anymore that reminds you of them and makes you smile. Maybe it's something you chose on a trip and brought back with you. Next is what in this space makes my body brace? What inside this space makes my body brace? What is it that makes us tense up? What makes us stressed? Is it the mail pile that we've been meaning to get to? Or maybe they're just papers, or maybe we didn't do the dishes today. That's okay. But just noticing what happens inside our body is what matters. And then that's how we go forward. And then choosing one small shift that we can make this week. Not a total overhaul. Don't be dumping out drawers or cleaning closets. Just do one small thing. Because we all know we start a drawer or a closet that turns into a multi-day project usually. So in the chat, if you can write, my one shift is blank, and then finish the sentence if you want to share. So my one shift is. I'll give you a minute. I see some coming in. Okay. Open the door or open the screen. That's okay. I get it. Open the screen door. Yeah. Yeah. And like in winter, when the sun is finally getting in like a little more intense, you can open up the doors like between your screen and your main door and just let that sunshine come in. Yeah, that's great. What else we have? Oh, yeah. You've been meaning to get different curtains. Oh, perfect. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Things that are small that can make the whole space change the look or change how you feel when you're in it. Oh, yeah. Yeah. And then having a book, having a book ready to read, that is really important. Like keeping the book that you read, that's too. Yeah, that's true too. Like knowing where your book is that you're working on. Or if you read it digitally, like have your tablet around or, mm-hmm, that's great. Yeah, just having those things nearby for when you have a small break or have a few minutes to work on it. Exactly. Yeah, that's awesome. That's beautiful. Yeah. Small changes create big relief over time. Yeah, think about it. We're doing one small thing, we're shifting one small way, and then our nervous system says, yeah, you got this. You can do it. Yep. That's how transformations happen, one shift at a time. All right, and next is our fourth root, which is connections, relationships, relationship with ourselves. It's an important one. Yeah, it's the most important relationship you have. It's with yourself. Many of us with chronic illness learn to override ourselves to survive. How many times have you said, I'm fine. I don't need help. I got this. When it would have been nice if someone just did it. Yeah, we're not supposed to be pushing through. or faking that we're fine, or just smiling it away. It's not fair to ourselves to just always handle it alone, tell ourselves to keep going. Yeah, because all we do is enter the zone of chronic depletion. Yeah, our nervous system needs clear and clean boundaries and real support. Boundaries and support. Strong support, strong boundaries. Yeah, and I'll share 4 relationship foundations with you. First one is self-compassion. Self-compassion, because harshness tightens our body. Kindness softens it. Our inner voice is part of our healing environment. So when we are harsh to ourselves, it's hard for healing to happen. It's hard to hear our inner voice. It's hard to know what our next steps are when we're being harsh. The next foundation is boundaries. Boundaries aren't walls, they are containers for what matters. So think of a boundary like a container. How many containers do you need per day? How many different areas do you focus on? You got family, work. You break your family ones up into different containers. If you have kids, boundaries are hard, but you can still have a few minutes a day for yourself where you set that boundary of, I'm going to go read. I'm going to go lock myself in a room or a closet if that's what I need to do to just clear my thoughts, to reset my nervous system. One of my friends has a space in her closet. She cleaned out like one of her sections in her closet and redid it so that she can put a small chair in there. She has a nice light. She puts her books in there and she locks the door. And that's her time. You do what you have to do. We do what we have to do to have our peace, have our boundaries, and keep our nervous system calm when possible. Boundaries matter for our health. They matter for our time and our dreams and wealth. So much can happen when we have the space, the silence to hear ourselves think. And if we're always around other people, it's hard to hear ourselves think. So having that space for ourselves is really important. And then the third foundation is communication. Most people cannot see what we manage. They might try to imagine what we're doing, but they don't know what it is that we need unless we ask or say it. Isn't it nice when you're done shopping and then someone takes your cart and put it away? Just simple things. If they'll just load your groceries, or it's great now for pickup. They load our groceries for us. And when we get home, it's great if we can have someone come out and meet us and haul it all in so we don't have to. Asking for support. The fourth foundation is community. Isolation is a huge issue. Isolation can amplify what is holding us back, what we are doing to hold ourselves back. And having the right people in our life helps our nervous system settle. Not every person is the right person. Maybe you have friends that you've had forever and they're just kind of distancing themselves. It's nobody's fault. Everybody's on their own path. When we look around, there's always someone available. It's choosing wisely, it's having the right people, and it's having a circle of 5. We don't need a million friends. We just need a few. 4, 3, 5 people that have our back, People that get excited about our dreams when we talk about it. People that can see what we want to see, that can see where we want to go, that are excited about us moving forward, that are excited about seeing us succeed and not trying to hold us back by telling us that our ideas aren't good or that we'll never do it or we never will be able to do it. So now I'd like to do a mini boundary practice. We're going to write down one sentence that we need to say this week, and I'll give you some examples. One example is, I need to rest. Another example is, I'm not available for that. The third is, great if you're always asked to volunteer. I can help, but not today. The fourth is, I need support with this. And the last one is, I'm choosing what supports my health. And I'll read back through them. And then you can tell me, okay, we'll just do 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah. So number one is your boundary sentence that you're going to say this week. Number one is, I need to rest. Number two, I'm not available for that. Number three, I can help, but not today. Number four, I need support with this. And number five, I'm choosing what supports my health. Now think about which one is the one you're going to use. And you don't have to, but you can put your number that's in the comments. I was always volunteering for everything because I thought if I stayed busy, then maybe I would forget I had MS or maybe it would just disappear, or I was always trying to think of ways to make it go away, which I knew deep down it wasn't, but it's not healthy to do that. It just makes us more stressed. It makes our nervous system live in fight or flight. Yeah, right. I can help, but not today. That's a good one. Exactly. I'm not available for that. I'm not available. I come first. I'm choosing what supports my health. Yes. You can say that to a medical professional. I need to think about it. I'm choosing what supports my health. Have you ever asked a medical professional if if you were their relative, what would they offer you? What would they tell you? What would they tell you your next steps are? Sometimes we only get 20 or 30 minutes with our professional medical team, and having a list of questions is a great way to have boundaries. None of this is selfish. It's called leadership, self-leadership. And it's okay, completely okay to have this leadership in your own life. Now I'd like you to take a breath in with me. Just take a breath in slowly, inhale slowly, and then let it exhale. So today what we did was created a map, the 4 roots of luminous living: clarity, vibrancy, connection, and harmony, which equates to mindset, body, environment, and relationships. And you experience something important. When we create safety, we create capacity, and then abundance has somewhere to land. Now I want to speak to the women that I know are here. The women who did not have anyone to talk to. They don't have real support. I want you to know today you are seen, You are heard and you are believed. In my spaces, nobody is questioned how they feel. The women who know and they don't know, maybe either, how to do things, how to ask questions, how to take that first step. You don't need to figure it out alone. You just need a little structure and accountability. And then the women here who aren't convinced that any of this is possible, but you signed up for possibility, and that's enough to start. And then the women with bigger dreams, the women who still want wealth, freedom, impact, and a life she loves while living with a chronic illness. Here's what I want you to know. You don't need more information. You can get that on the internet. You need regulation. You need training. You need consistency. And you need a supportive container. This is where the next step comes in. So I've had messages since I've opened up this container, and I thought, instead of answering in the realm of social media, I thought I'll just take a minute here. I'll answer those questions that came in, and then if anybody else has questions, you can pop those in the chat. Because I think it's important to feel like everything is clear. When it's not, that's what causes rumination. So, one of the questions that I did receive a couple of times is what exactly are we going to do inside the six week container of abundance through the body, wealth, and wellness immersion? In 6 weeks, we know a month goes fast. Look how fast this month has gone. So, the 6 weeks, we just take it week by week. We have a call once a week. Sometimes it'll be, depends what our topic is. Sometimes it'll be 30 minutes, sometimes 40. Maybe it'll be longer if there's more questions because it's flowing. It's always in motion and it's always open for more, open for what you're dealing with. So inside our immersion, they aren't 6 cookie cutter random things that I've dreamed up. It's more of a structured recalibration. It's a process that builds upon itself week by week. It's how I did my reset, which probably took 3 years at least to figure this all out and to have the right people in my life to support me through this all. Because nothing is ever a quick fix. When something matters and something is important to us, it's important to have the right people by your side. So our flow is going to be week 1, we'll have an opening ceremony, we'll establish nervous system safety, and you will create your personal baseline. We will clarify your vision, your bigger dream, what you want to happen, even while living alongside a chronic illness. This first week is about commitment, identity, and regulating our foundations. Recognizing the support. Recognize the support in this container. It's going to be so helpful for so many of us. And then week 2 is our vibrancy piece, our healthy body piece. We go deep into this pillar. It's the physical and it's also the nervous system regulation. We'll create a daily stabilization tool for ourselves. We will have energy tracking. We will train your body to feel safer and more predictable. Because when our nervous system feels safe, that's when the abundance, that's when the wellness, that's when the wealth, That's when everything that we see as external can come in. And that's what we want. We want abundance inside and outside. Week 3, we'll work on our connection piece, our relationships, our relationship with ourselves. We will explore co-regulation, boundaries, communication, and how our nervous system interacts with others. And that's something I never thought of. But if you think of when somebody triggers you, that's our nervous system. And usually, like 99.9% of the time, the other person doesn't even know that that's happening. So we're going to talk about that. I'm going to write myself a note because triggers are huge when regulating our nervous system. When our body stays calmer, our relationships can shift. Relationships can shift, yeah. This week in our 6-week process strengthens harmony and connection. Then we get into week 4, the money and wealth. We examine capacity. We examine receiving. We examine decision making. We look at how dysregulation blocks opportunities. We'll begin rewiring our relationship with wealth through our body, not just our mindset, but we'll work on that too. Week number 5 is healing energetics. We're going to clear emotional residue. We're going to clear what is not serving us. We'll use tools like EFT, like we did earlier. We'll use nervous system repatterning, nervous system repatterns, and then a brief recalibration. This week addresses what has been silently blocking you without you even realizing it. And all of these come from what I've been through. I've done all this. I know how it affects us. And I know when we are on the other side of it, how it can help us move forward. Anything I teach, I've already been through. I've already tested it. And that's with anything in my life. I am my own guinea pig. And then week number 6, it'll come fast, but it'll be our closing ceremony. It'll be our integration. And we'll see how we've shifted, how our self-identity has shifted. We'll look at our embodiments, our anchors, the women you're becoming. And look at it not as an ending, but as a stabilization, as a pause before your next step, whatever that may be. Each week includes a nervous system regulation practice and then a structured implementation so that you're not left wondering what to do next. We keep it practical. We keep it so your body can receive it easily. And because it's cumulative, because it's a foundation that we're creating, it's easier for our nervous system to begin receiving. So that's what we're doing for our 6-week immersion. And that is really a predecessor to the deeper work inside the Luminous Living pathway, which is a 6-month experience. And we can talk about that later because we also have some other questions popping up. Okay, so the next question is, this is a good one. What if I don't believe this will work for me? Being a skeptic, I understand you, I hear you, and it's completely normal. Anything new that our mind hears, we're already figuring out, will it work for me? Can I do it? Can I fit it into my life? And that's the good thing about this is, yeah, we keep it simple, we keep it moving, and we keep stacking. And most women who join are not 100% certain, but they're open to possibility. And it's not about needing certainty. You just need some willingness to allow yourself to be on the receiving side. The immersion is not based on motivation. It's not in a textbook. It's not a cookie cutter program. It's based on repetition and regulation. We're training your nervous system slowly and consistency with slow and consistent weeks and steps through each week so that change feels safe. It's nothing drastic. It's slow and consistent. And our beliefs grow from evidence. And we get evidence from practice. So when we do these simple practices, that's building evidence for our nervous system to say, I'm safe. So that's the goal. So that was a great question. Yeah, and if you're even half on board, you're half in the possibility realm, that's enough to start. You just have to think about the possibilities. All right, and this was one from earlier today. How much time will this take each week? That's always my first question. How much time am I going to need to make this new process more effective? So the live container will be structured, it'll be intentional. And like I said, some of the days will be shorter, some might be a bit longer. But the goal is to walk away with another piece for your foundation. And then outside of our calls, which are always recorded, your daily regulation practices are simple and doable. Most of them, 5 minutes. Some of the longer ones might be 15 if it's a guided meditation along with maybe tapping or combining different practices. And this is not about overwhelming you. It's about consistency. Because remember, consistency builds regulation. Small repeated actions create our familiarity. And neural familiarism creates safety. Safety increases capacity. Capacity is what's allowing health, wealth, and relationships to expand. We're not adding more work to our life, we're building stability. And when we think of it that way, then that helps our mind have ease in it, have ease in starting this process because it's all about stability. And then the investment. So the full investment for Abundance Through the Body 6-week immersion is $777. And then for early birds through Tuesday, March 3rd, I'll give you a nice deal of $444. After March 3rd, it returns to $777. So after midnight Pacific time on March 3rd, it goes back up to $777. And the pricing, it reflects the depth of this nervous system training, the energetic clearings, and the structured support that you'll receive. But most importantly, it'll reflect the transformation that you'll receive after the 6 weeks. Think about when your nervous system is regulated, you make clear decisions. You'll stop self-sabotaging. Maybe you'll increase your earning capacity or strengthen relationships. Maybe you can expand your health stability. None of this is about feeling better or curing any autoimmune or MS or anything. It's about being more capable of holding on to the life you want and building, creating, having those dreams. What we experience today is the initiation energy. It's our first step. Think of a staircase. You have to start on step 1. Or think of a ladder. You got to start at the bottom. Today, this is our first step. It's our first rung in the ladder. So if you know you're done waiting, this early window honors your readiness. And there's a bonus for everybody who joins before March 3rd. We have a bonus meditation called Steady in the Storm. So when you're feeling those days of maybe not the best clarity, or you're at a crossroads and you need to make a decision, Steadiness in the Storm will be there for you. You can download it, you can add it to your phone, add it to your Spotify, add it to your playlist so that it's there for you when you need it. And once March 3rd at midnight hits, it's not going to be available to anybody. So some of you already know. You can already feel it. You felt it when we were talking about the nervous system. We were talking about receiving. You felt it when we talked about wealth and capacity. You felt it when we named the chaos, and then your body quietly said, yes, that's me. None of this is about hype. It's about readiness. And you don't need new tools. You don't need more information. You need a regulated foundation that can hold your next level. And right now you have a choice. You can leave inspired and go back to trying to figure it out alone. Or you can step into a structure that has accountability, repetition, guided recalibration. Abundance to the Body is not a motivational series. It's a training ground. For 6 weeks, you will not be guessing. You will not be spiraling alone. You'll be building capacity. You'll be building a foundation. You'll be building health capacity, relationship capacity, wealth capacity. The early investment is $444 through March 3rd. That's $444. After that, it returns to $777. If you're the woman who still has big dreams, even with this different body, if you're tired of waiting for the perfect day, the perfect conditions, if you want your nervous system working for you instead of against you, this is your moment. It's not dramatic, there's no pressure, it's decisive. We begin with intention, and today is a beginning. I'd like you to take in one breath, big inhale, feel into your body. If it feels steady and true, trust that as you exhale. Abundance to the Body, Wealth and Wellness, 6-week immersion. And I want to be clear, this isn't a quick fix. It's recalibration, a reset. We're going to go through week by week. Week 1 is our opening ceremony. It's safety, commitment, and our nervous system baseline. Week 2 is our body regulation, daily practices, physical support. Week 3 is boundaries, co-regulation, ending silent resentment, clearer communication. Week 4, money and wealth, capacity building, receiving, calm decision making. Week 5 is healing energetics, clearing blocks, EFT, belief recalibration, energy hygiene. And then week 6 is our closing ceremony. It's integration, our identity shift, expansion vision. Every week includes practical training that you can apply right there, and mindset support, a clearing journey. This is where consistency becomes identity. To the woman who hasn't taken the first step, this is structure. To the woman who still doubts yourself, You signed up today because something inside you believes you can do it. To the woman with big dreams, your body is not what's blocking you. Your untrained nervous system is, and that can change. Our early bird expires at midnight Pacific time on March 3rd. Early bird is only 4:44. After March 3rd, it goes back up. And if you enroll by March 3rd, you'll receive a private guided meditation from me called Steady in the Storm. It's a nervous system reset for doubt, confidence, and clarity. This is for the days when doubt gets loud, when your mind spirals, when you feel shaky. It guides you back to steadiness, clarity, and confidence in a few minutes. This bonus is not sold separately. It's reserved for the women who move early now, who join in the early window. Your next step is if your body is saying yes, trust the steadiness. You can enroll now by sending me a message at support@heartsofwellness.com, and then I'll share the invoice and the link back with you. Or if you'd like to talk about it, we can chat more. And for those of you who prefer a payment option, I want to make this accessible without creating stress. If you prefer a monthly structure, we can offer monthly a 2-month payment plan through PayPal. This allows you to step in now without waiting. If you choose the early bird and need structure, we can divide the 444 into 2 PayPal payments of 222. Or PayPal can set that up for you. The goal is not financial strain. The goal is commitment. And when you enroll, you're not paying for information. You're investing in yourself. You're investing in regulation, consistency, and guided expansion. If you have a private question about payments, you can message me directly at support@heartsofwellness.com. This is about building abundance in a way your nervous system can hold. So take one more breath in with me. You inhale and then exhale. And I'm going to close with a few final words to help you decide from steadiness, not pressure. Here's the truth. You don't need more information. You need regulation. You don't need a new plan. You need capacity. Your body is not the obstacle to your dreams. An untrained nervous system is, and that's trainable. For 6 weeks, we build stability, we build clarity, we build wealth capacity from the inside out. It's not inspiration, it's infrastructure. And if you're ready to stop circling the same patterns, if you're ready to stop managing chaos alone, if you're ready to build a body that can hold your next level, then step in. Not emotionally, not impulsively, but decisively. Abundance flows through a regulated body. Train the body, expand the life, and I'll see you inside.